Twitter users don't understand animation. A video on Twitter.
Recently, I got successfully rage baited on Twitter, so I'm making a video to recoup my losses. Today, we're talking about animation.
Danny DeVito? No, I know. He's the guy from Hercules.
The tweet that's responsible for this unhinged rant that I'm about to go on is actually a two-parter. The original and the quote tweet.
This was animated in 1987. 1980s anime is a very powerful argument against the notion of progress. We do not have anything this nice today.
This was animated in 1987, and it's above a 30-second clip of a dude in a mech doing all the basic checks. And yeah, it looks good. But this was animated in 1987? That's not really how animation works. One thing you have to understand about animation and art in general is that the concept of aging doesn't...
The thing is, we do have animation that's that good now. But it's just underground niche stuff. Like, that anime example they shown there, if it did come out that year, it was probably from like a niche anime or something that went under the radar. It's like, okay, so there was this one anime that everyone's been shilling now. And they won't shut up about it. So this was like 3 short stories, and each one was completely... It was animated completely differently. It's really good. But it was never popular. But people have now found it. And then they've retroactively been like... Oh yeah, like... Anime's like, fell off now, dude. It all sucks now. Because most people will see like a very popular show that was cheaper to animate because they could mass produce it. And then they compare that to more experimental stuff like this.
Hey, Dad.
But yeah, there was...
You know why we're fighting in the war?
One of them is like about a war. One of them is about a guy. One of them is about a guy that stinks so bad he basically kills everyone. But it's all animated like really, really well.
I did not feel good about
I do recommend watching it. I want to watch it again, but I don't know where to fucking watch it because it's not on like Amazon or anything like that.
Countless paintings that...
You've seen the guy that smells in meme form? Yeah, the one where like the military tried to stop him and stuff, right? It's great. It's like really well animated.
that were created hundreds,
I can't goon!
thousands of years ago, and they still hold up to this day. New and experienced modern artists still routinely study and learn from the old masters. Animation, as me and
Yeah, it's like any artist that I've spoken to, right? You know, I'll see someone that does like... Okay, here's a good example. This sounds really weird. I've seen people that have drawn like commissions for me. Like you can guess what the commissions are, right? You know. But then what they do is they also post like normal art, like conventional art. And it's like, holy shit. Like your art is so good. Like you're not just locked into drawing like weird kink stuff as well. But then like you talk to them and it's like, how did you learn to do this? And then they always link their inspirations. It'll be like, you know, some older artist or like from a show or something like that. Because to learn to be an artist in the first place, you have to be inspired by someone else prior. Like there's always... And then a lot of people tend to put their own kind of spin on it as well, their own kind of reference and their own kind of style. Because I've had people link me inspirations and it's like, oh, I see the resemblance now. Like you're not copying it, you're like building on it.
you know it is a fairly recent art form by comparison, which means we can't really go back all that far, but the concept remains the same.
what the hell.
Good animation
Things like memories are art, not just anime. There is anime meant for recreation and mass enjoyment of a story. Yeah, exactly. Then there's an anime that was done as a passion project. Yeah, exactly. That's why you'll see these mind-blowing animations that took 7 years to make, and they're like 10 minutes long. It's like a short story. And then you think to yourself, why the fuck isn't everyone doing this? Why isn't like the 20 series anime slop doing this? And it's like, because they money. It's always money.
regardless of the era, will look good.
There'll definitely be someone in chat defending One Piece animation right now. Like, mark my words.
I can pull up a scene from Tom and Jerry made in 1940, and it's gonna have all the hallmarks of good animation. Squash and stretch, timing, the whole works. A caption like this one makes no sense because time period has nothing to do with quality of good animation. With that being said,
Thank you, Extra Duff, for the 1 month and for the hype train. Appreciate it.
animation has improved. To pretend that the 70s, 80s, or 90s are some sacred era where animation peaked is a statement that you can only make if you watch the
No, One Piece is good, but the animation is just very 1,000 episode anime animation.
The best of that time period and only the slop of today. Of course, you're gonna
That fucking word! That fucking word that I hate! I like that word is infested. Dude, I saw this one TikTok and it was showing like Keemstar and Leafy and Grady Underray, and then it showed me, right? And it was playing my outro music, Whitewood's Beach Walk, which I'm still trying to get back, by the way. And then I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, this was back in like 2017. The word slop did not exist back then. Okay, yeah, it did in like a literal sense, but not in like an online sense.
gonna come to this
Simpler times.
conclusion if you put Akira up against Seven Deadly Frames. It's just not a fair comparison. Are we gonna pretend that Demon Slayer has bad animation? Are we really going to look at any single cut done by Vincent Chan's art and say that we have regressed? Most artists that continue to create will inevitably get better with time. A lot of those same animators making peak animation in the 80s or 90s are still around
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is one people always jump back on as well. It's like, well, that was a series. Why was it good there? Why is it slop now?
today. Yutaka Nakamura
I mean, I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners the other day. I rewatched it. I've watched it twice now. And I realized, like, in the first couple episodes, holy, reusing animation. It was actually insane how much animation in that show was recycled. In the later episodes, no. But in the first couple of episodes, the recycling is actually unreal. Like, you'll see a scene of, like, David Martinez walking up the stairs, and then you'll see him do it again, and then you'll see him do it again. The background's the exact same. They just add a couple people in and stuff. It was just insane how much recycling there was there. But yeah, it did pick up, thankfully. One thing I like about Edge Runners as well is, like, how much it escalates and how things get very bad very quickly. Because the first, like, 3 episodes kind of trick you into thinking, okay, this is going to be the slowest show ever. But things go to shit, like, really quickly.
for example, is an animator that had a hand in some of my favorite cuts in Cowboy Bebop. They still look
Why is everyone saying Hank?
incredible to this day.
Why is everyone saying Hank? Why are you all Walter White in the back of the car? I don't get it.
You'd have to be willfully ignorant to say that his skill level has decreased or plateaued since he created these. Almost a decade later, the dude made one of the most
Hank, don't... Anyways.
impressive sword fights in animation history for Sword of the Stranger. Even more recently, his work on Freerun is downright gorgeous. Insane perspective, incredible clothing animation, and movement, as well as a full-ass 2D dragon for multiple cuts.
See, this animation's really good. But then the thing is, it's the nostalgia argument again, right? Okay, Lorne, very good artist, very depressed artist, but very good artist. I listen to him a lot. He did Acid Rain. That was really good music video. Can't play any more of that. He did one that used a scene from Memories. Where is it? It's Sega, that's right. So this scene is from Memory, and the animation here is like, it's basically the same. It might be a little bit worse, but because it looks old, like it is, unironically, it is the same argument of like old le good, new le bad. This animation, still really fucking cool. Like, it looks really cool. But again, it's like, just because it's old, people kind of have that nostalgia to it. Like, you know how you see all those people on TikTok and shit, and they're grabbing like not a DSLR, they're grabbing like a camera. You know, like the, what kind of camera do you call it? The camera from Outlast, I guess. Let's just call it that, with the little flip viewfinder, that kind of thing. The old cameras from like the early 2000s. And then people start taking videos, and all the top comments are like, oh, I don't know why, but it just looks so much better. Like, because it's nostalgia. You remember it as a kid. You want to be a kid again, because things were easier back then. It's the same argument. I think that shit looks cool. I saw a guy that did like a PSP. Some guy was filming videos like a PSP camera attachment, and it looked really cool. Not a fucking short, man. Show it. Okay, that sucks. That's a terrible example. But I saw some people that were using the PSP camera to film videos, and it looked really cool because it just looked bad. So it's just that nostalgia argument again. I'm not saying that old animation from Memories is bad, like far from it. But people will like invalidate any new animation because it doesn't have the nostalgia to it. Like, unironically, add some chromatic aberration to this, film it on like a BlackBerry, post it on TikTok, and everyone will be like, oh, soul.
That is like especially difficult to do in animation. That guy is a monster. Now, I know the post is broad in nature, so while animators
Going back to old movies hits different. Yeah, I watched The Departed again. I've watched that film like 6 times. It's so good.
like Nakamura
I wish one of the if I had 3 wishes, one of the wishes would be I forget about the film The Departed so I could watch it again for the first time.
might be exceptions, the rest are.
It's the Jacksepticeye argument. I mean, his content has changed, definitely. But yeah, no, like his argument still stands where he said that, you know, like you grew up, right? It's not like my content's gotten worse. It has changed. You know, he's not spam uploading daily anymore. He's kind of just uploading like basically what he wants to now.
Are terrible frauds, right? Well, that's kind of what they want you to think. However, that's a flawed viewpoint. Nakamura
Like I saw this video like I was talking about earlier, like showing off Leafy and me. And then everyone was talking about how like, oh, I went down the alt-right pipeline because of this. And then I left a comment on that TikTok and I basically said, I've got to like, I love TikTok. I've got to copy the link on my phone. I've got to send it to someone on Discord, then copy the link off Discord. Why can't we just like, can't I play it from my brain? Elon Musk? Why have we not reached that stage yet? Watch this. There'll be like 20,000 pop-ups now. Can you solve a captcha to watch this TikTok? Yeah, this is the one. Is it? Right. Can't even play that. Can't even play that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I had even less of a chin then. Jesus Christ. Anyway. So yeah, I was just talking about, you know, how many people mentally matured. Never mentally matured. Kind of still stuck in that edgy era. Because I was edgy back then. You know. iDubbbz was edgy. Then he discovered empathy. I can't even view the comments. Kill yourself. Like, hang on. Let me see if I'm logged in on my, on Google. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Whatever. I'll come back to that. I'll see if I can find it on my phone. I'll have to find the comment I made. Why, like... Tech companies be like, we know you spend 90% of your day on the internet, but we're going to make it as obtuse and hard to use as possible. Oh, I found the comment. There we go. It's not going to show, is it? It was basically me just saying the original left to right wing pipeline. And then everyone in the comments was basically just complaining about Leafy, I think. Leafy is here led me into the right wing pipeline. I made that comment saying the original left and right pipeline. And then all the comments are basically saying, I'm happy you're not cringy anymore. I mean, I am still cringy, definitely. But anyways.
Nakamura was still an exception back then as well. Just like most industries, you're going to have a majority of people that do a good enough job, while a small percentage excel far above the norm. What has actually happened...
I'm definitely the only person who remembered the Leafy versus Pyro roast. That roast was terrible. God.
...is that there are
from both sides, that was terrible.
more top-tier animators today than there have ever been before. Digital has made animation accessible to anyone with a tablet and a pirate flag, so you're seeing unprecedented amounts of talented people from all over the world create. Whether it's fan animations uploaded to YouTube, or people working from overseas that manage to find a role in your favorite animes. The barrier to entry has been slowly being lowered year after year, and as a result, more and more talented people that normally wouldn't get the...
I mean, a good example is like Digital Circus and stuff, right? That was basically, like, that wasn't a mainstream company. That was hiring people, like, all across different areas.
Chance to work on these projects are actually getting hired. Everything I just said is a fact 1000%. If you have a differing opinion, you are just wrong.
I thought that was really wholesome, and they're just fucking plushies.
The thing about older anime, though...
Like, bro, I might as well have looked at a YouTube's and been like, oh, that's so cute.
It also had the same problems. Because none of these rage baiters actually watch any of the shows, let's take a deeper look, shall we? I don't want this to turn into a... let's shit on this animation segment. The team of people that made this sequence are all very talented, and visually, I think it's quite nice. With that being said, the quote tweet with over 200,000 likes is making the claim that we don't have anything of this.
Well, the reason why that tweet did well is because Twitter is just full of spiteful, negative, hateful people. There are some really good people on Twitter, but a lot of it is just drowned out in like just rage baiting and angry stuff. Like, you can literally just say something on Twitter, lie about it, and if people agree with that, with the same kind of notion, they'll just run with it. Like, it's always Twitter. I feel like Twitter was purposely designed to make people angry, because if you're angry, you scroll more. You keep checking stuff. If you see good news, it's like, oh, that's nice. I close the app. But if you're angry, then you're invested. Then you go to the comments. And like, that's why so many negative gimmick accounts have thrived, because it's not the original tweet. It's always the tweet that quotes it. Who the fuck just posted a giant bird with its cock out in my Twitch chat? Mods! Mods! What? He posted a bird with its cock out. What is that? A thrush? Of course his fucking name is Everyday Aussie. Get him out!
Quality anymore. So let's look at the actual animation happening here. We start out with a neat shot of the top part of the leg, gently pressing down onto the foot.
Thank you, Random, for the 5. In Western media, not really, but all across Eastern media and even European media, especially French, are cooking with animation. Yeah, I've seen some French animation that's like really, really good. I'm trying to think of some examples, actually.
Only the top
The only thing I can think of is that fucking, you know, that kids show, the Ladybird one? That's not good animation.
part and the tubes are actually being animated, but it looks good in the attention.
Oh, do you remember Totally Spies? Dude, I watched that so much as a kid. That's French animation. Dude, I was watching this when I was like 10. Holy throwback. Did anyone watch this? Like, dude. They literally had a show with women wearing skin-tight latex. Like, what the fuck were they thinking? That's crazy. There was also one episode where one of the characters like eats a lot and gets really, really fat. Like, that isn't even a joke. Like, that, I'm not even joking. That could have actually been like an awakening moment or something, genuinely. It's like, there's so many examples of like degenerate artists putting their work into like mainstream media.
Attention to detail.
It's like fucking Sleeper Agent Black Ops stuff. Thank you, Hacker, for the 5. Have you ever played Terraria? Yeah, I played it for a bit. I couldn't get into it though, unfortunately.
Detail is great. Look at how this little knob turns clockwise and backs as the motion is done. The next shot is more detailed, and unsurprisingly, only the rotors are actually being animated. After that, we've got a hand clutching the control
No, but you don't get it. It's old. It's old animation. Old le good.
stick.
I mean, I hate to admit it. He's making very good points here with the animation being inconsistent, but it still looks good because it looks old. And it's such a weird argument. It definitely is based on nostalgia, but at the same time, it's like, why is it good? Because if this was animated as clean as today's animation is, people would be like, this is slop. But because it looks old, therefore it's good. It's such a weird argument. I feel like you can't debunk the argument. Just nostalgia cope.
Only the fingers, not even the full hand, are being animated. The following cut has even less movement, with only the display changing.
No, it's shaking though. It's shaking because they drew it frame by frame, so it's got to be good. It's old. So when you see Evangelion and like all the characters are like slowly kind of shaking and stuff because they were like, when they scanned the frames, they did it a bit wrong.
Another super detailed drawing, but only the fingers on the comparatively less detailed person.
Aeon Flux. Yeah, Aeon Flux was goated though. I would love to show a clip of Aeon Flux, but that company will fucking hire the JFK. They will pull the guy that killed JFK out of the grave and have him kill me. But Aeon Flux is really good. What can I show of Aeon Flux? Because Aeon, not the film. Aeon Flux was interesting because I like how I do not watch anime. Wait, it's on Apple? Shit, I might buy that actually. So Aeon Flux is really weird because what they did is like, the first season had no dialogue at all. It was these kind of self-contained like mini stories. And it usually ends up with her dying at the end of every episode. It was like kind of a Black Mirror thing, but it's all the same characters. It was really good. And I don't know why they did this. They kind of commercialized it, and then season 2 and 3, there's like storylines and the characters talk, and it just became very generic. But the first season, I definitely recommend like anyone should go and watch it. It's really fucking good. Do they have that episode with the hang on. Yeah, they've got like basically nothing. Oh, they got the max as well. I mean, I guess I could show the opening. Surely I don't get sniped for that. Surely I don't get sniped for showing the opening. But yeah, it's really short. I think each episode was like 5 to 10 minutes long. How is that a Breaking Bad? Oh, the fly.
Second.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up, man. You see a fly Breaking Bad?
Are moving. The fingers on the robot's hand are also way simplified so that the animation is easier to make. Next up, all detail, no movement outside of the lenses closing and opening. A super quick shot where a cinder block with almost no detail as well is crushed, and one more cut of only rotors moving left and right. A machine gun, you get the picture. While this is all super simple animation, in the context of what's happening on screen, it's perfectly acceptable, and most importantly, it makes sense. There's no reason for the entire mechanical body to be in constant movement. That's why the animator...
No, but it's old though. You don't get it. Old look good.
...can spend a lot of time making the drawings look phenomenal and detailed, while the...
I mean, even like look at the numbers as well. It's almost like because it looks bad, it's good. It's weird. Again, like I'd be repeating myself, but it's just that nostalgia argument of, you know, people that grab the old cameras and they start filming. It's like, I mean, everyone's been doing this, by the way. It's like, it's almost like people fucking hate living now, so they want to go back. And even the new gens who weren't even alive back then. Like, I watched Schlatt's recent video. Half of this video, he's filmed it with like an old camera.
This is like the kind of hotel that a shitty person would enjoy.
All I'm saying is laugh.
Like, this is such a huge trend now.
Chocolate cake and beer. It was a whopping $380.
The imperfections are what makes it perfect. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the worst thing is, like, I'm going to cave into this trend. I wanted to buy myself like an old camera like this and go around filming stuff.
The opening sequence does look good, even though the animation is limited. The rest of the OVA is average. Lots of still shots that endlessly pan, lower detailed mechs to make this.
What does OVA mean? Because whenever I hear OVA, the animation is just worse. It's like when they did the JoJo OVA and it was just worse. Original video animation. Yeah, whenever I see OVAs, they are just worse in every way.
Sparse moments of movement actually look, and plenty of off-model characters later, and what you get is a very average project. Let's go up a year or two. Potentially my favorite anime of all time, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, has some of the most mediocre animation I've ever had the pleasure of watching. Characters are usually sat there, with only their mouths flapping and sometimes moving their bodies to walk in and out of the scene. In the context of Legend of the Galactic Heroes, the limited animation is fine. The characters don't need to be exploding into impact frames every 10 seconds because it's a drama focused around humans. However, even in its action set pieces, they're never anything too outstanding, and I'll take most of anything from today.
God, watching this, I really gotta watch Berserk. Not the new one with the shitty 3D. I gotta watch the old Berserk. I think it's on Netflix, actually.
Over that. Good animation has never been the norm.
Oh, you know what animation style I like that this reminded me of? There's this film that came out, and I remember watching it. There's a channel in the UK called Film 4, and I used to watch that so much as a kid late at night when I couldn't sleep. And they'd always play like really old films. Well, they play old films during the day, because that's when like the old people are watching it. And it's like, I remember that film when I was 45. And it's like black and white. But they did this film called Tikkun King Crete, I think. The animation is so good in it. It's so good. The way the characters are done and stuff. I think this same animator or the animation team worked on a short for like a Batman anthology or something. But like the fucking backgrounds, man, look at that.
Animator here. The thing about old animation before digital took over is that traditional pencil to paper required so much patience, skill and money. It's why even the worst old cartoons are still gems considering the time and effort, like Superman 1941.
Thank you, Goon King, for the 10. Amazing name for an animator there. Yeah, just the backgrounds for this film were incredible, though. It kind of actually, like, look at that, man. Holy shit. Like, it actually stole away from the characters. Like, you'd look at the backgrounds more. Like, look at that. Dude, background artists are, like, so underappreciated, especially for stuff like this. It looks like it's all shot in, like, you know those, like, skater music videos, like Tony Hawk and stuff? Where they use the fisheye lens? Yeah, that's a film you could watch 50 times and you just always notice an extra detail on rewatch. That was 2006 as well. I was 9 years old when that came out. God damn.
Every period has had its Demon Slayers, its Cowboy Bebops, its Seven Deadly Sins, its Great Teacher Onizukas. Anybody that makes the absolute claim animation was better in XYZ year just has no clue what they're talking about. What I would consider to be the issue is oversaturation and art direction. And maybe that's actually what these people mean when they say that the animation today is bad. I find the look of your average anime these days to be pretty boring and uninspired. Super bright, highly saturated colors with no real thought put into them make a lot of shows feel very bland. Instead of a cohesive world, I feel like I'm looking at a toy promo. Regardless, this has nothing
It's hard to explain. It's almost like this current gen of anime, the colors look very kind of washed out. It looks like there's a bloom affected on everything. Like it's too bright. And then older animes are very dark.
to do with animation quality.
It's just it's almost like it's very tonally different.
Animation is movement, not just pretty visuals. I will always personally prefer the darker, grittier look of older anime, but plenty of projects
Hey, I just said that. He stole that.
today can quite comfortably compete with the aesthetic. Frieren, Dandadan, Chainsaw Man, these are all shows that I think have a beautiful visual identity that is on par with the older stuff. The bigger problem though, oversaturation. This is what I mean by this term. Look at the list of anime made in the year 1987. Okay?
You should start watching One Piece. Dude, I don't think I can. There's no way. Fucking 18 days. 18 days. That's not even accounting for sleep. 18 days.
Yeah. Decently sized list. Now let's
It gets good after 300 episodes. You sound like the guy that defends Dark Souls 2. Trust me, bro. It gets better after the 40-second boss.
peep 2025. Oh,
Wait, where's that meme again? Play Dark Souls 2. It gets better meme. There it is. My favorite meme. Try Dark Souls 2, but try Dark Souls 2, bro. It gets better after the 31st boss. Keep in mind, there are only 32 bosses in the entire game.
huh. Year after
Nah, Dark Souls 2 is good. It's overhated.
year, more anime is produced. Animation companies
No, Dark Souls 2 is good. It is good. Dark Souls 2 is basically Dark Souls 1 if you had a really shitty VPN installed. So there's just lag in a single player game somehow.
today have gotten ruthlessly efficient at pumping out content. Since there's such a big demand for anime, they're heavily incentivized to spend less time making one thing look perfect, and instead on making something passable so that they can jump straight into the next project.
I don't hate anime. I just watch a lot less anime than probably most people here.
And since not every show is created equal, the vast majority of them will end up being slop. So while in 1987 you might have had a handful of good shows, OVAs, or movies, your pool of anime was also way smaller. Nowadays, even if the ratio of good to slop is similar or higher percentage-wise,
Wait, go back.
nowadays, even if the ratio of good
What is that anatomy? That's crazy.
to slop is similar or higher percentage-wise, it just feels like nowadays, even if the ratio of good to
Wait.
slop is similar or higher
That's stolen! Stolen frame! Stolen frame! Stolen frame! They stole that shit from Melancholia 100%. That shit is stolen. Stolen! Stolen! Also, watch Melancholia. It's a really good film. Disgusting. How could anime steal from the real world?
Percentage-wise, it just feels like a never-ending stream of dog shit to find something good.
Well, it's also because there's so much anime coming out now. Like, how many... I wonder how many animes are released a year. 90 shows? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But when you do find something good... Another thing.
Shit, I need to watch Chainsaw Man.
Have you noticed how every time a post like this is made, it's always a shot from a movie or a 15-minute OVA? Really makes you...
That was not the actual animation for Cowboy Bebop, right?
Like this is made, it's always a shot from a movie or a 15-minute OVA. Really makes you think. Anyway, I want to quickly talk about traditional versus modern animation. Whenever someone wants to give
That's the OVA.
their opinion on animation and they bring up the term hand-drawn,
I like how OVA just means it's bad.
99 times out of 100, you're free to block them. Anything else they've got to say is probably just as stupid. Think about this term for 1 second. Hand-drawn. How do these people think 2D animation is made? With their feet? ChatGPT? It's not 3D. There's no models, no rigging. A human artist picks up
Bro said wood to the Elon Musk AI.
a pencil and they fucking draw. The act of drawing on paper versus digitally has some differences, but the core remains the same. If you gave me a regular pencil, I can draw the same thing at roughly the same quality as I would digitally. Digital provides nice quality of life tools like undos, liquify, or being able to flip through the animation as many times as you want, thus eliminating the need to hunch over every time you want to preview it. But a skilled animator is able to create great
Yeah, if we didn't have the tech to do digital animation, there would be like 3 animes released a year.
work with both mediums. Take Vincent Chansard as an example. For his part in the Sukuna vs Maharaga fight, he animated the majority of it digitally. However, when Maharaga gets launched into the water, rather than leaving it up fully to the composition team, the guy brings out the watercolors and does the whole thing himself. What we get is an incredibly unique sequence that perfectly blends digital with traditional. Digital tools don't make him a better artist, he's just that fucking good. Also, let me lean in real close for this one.
Yeah, that animation looked really good because it was just so messy.
Animators today, and those that animated in the 80s as well, lame. So this notion that modern animation sucks because it's no longer hand-drawn falls completely flat on its face. I think 3D is the biggest component in people's
That is exactly what I think of with modern Berserk.
disliking of modern animation. And this one I can get behind for most anime. CG in Japanese animation isn't particularly good. Rather than it being its own art form, the way it's usually implemented is
I think the problem with like when they use 3D in a lot of Japanese animes, like especially ones where there's loads of episodes, it just looks like you've got a PSP character inside of an anime.
as a cost and time-saving crutch, which leads to it looking... CG in anime isn't necessarily new, it's been around and used since the day it came out, but no big
Wasn't that Initial D?
leaps have been made in making it properly fit into any given anime. It's always very jarring to see, and usually the models themselves are never that good, so they look way out of place. This doesn't mean that Japan is 5,000 years
I was... Who made this meme? Bro, who made this meme? Legit, who made this meme? What do you mean ancient art age? Shut up, man. Shut up. Dude, it was 97, okay? It was 97. It was like, I just escaped, like, the Great Dying when all the dinosaurs got wiped out. It's just the picture of the T-Rex. Just the T-Rex. I don't know, just the expression. He just looks so stun-locked. I'm actually going to steal that. I'm stealing that.
behind technologically, it's just that not many shows are made with 3D in mind. Dragon Stampede, Beastars,
Born in 97 ADR. Shut
to
up.
be Hero X, all 3 of these shows have absolutely outstanding 3D animation, and that part of the animation industry has absolutely gotten better and it's not even close. Into the Spider-Verse or Arcane are two super recent projects that put pretty much every other 3D animation over the last decade to shame. But we're mostly talking about 2D.
I mean, the League of Legends animation had to be good because it was Riot. I remember reading online that they lost money giving it to Netflix overall, but they didn't care. They just wanted more brand recognition.
It's a very convenient little trick these rats play. That's why I want to show some of these To Be Hero X clips, and I want any of you 43-year-old elitists to tell me, and the viewers with a straight face, that anime has regressed in terms of animation. So no, animation in 1987, 1972, 1940 is not actually better than animation today. Good animation from that time period can compete with good animation from today. However, overall, I think the skill level has increased as time has gone on. As always, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
Hello, I am Josh, the superior content creator. We all know this. Recently, Orion has captured me, put me in his basement, right? But I am allowed a single grape ration a day, which is nice, and I'm allowed to play nothing but Fear and Hunger and Farming
What game did he say? I didn't hear him.
Simulator 2016. It's a good life, but out of spite, I will say this: do not subscribe to him. His name is annoying to actually pronounce, and you know my.
Yeah, I enjoyed that video. Yeah, check out the channel Orion. Just the fucking Fear and Hunger reference.